Hey LinkedIn, what's up? So today we're actually going to take a step back. I know the last video was on EP3, specifically on duct detectors. We're going to go back to a previous post. A few weeks ago we did a post on tamper switches, water flow switches, high air pressure alarm switches, and I got several messages and comments asking to go through the components and how to test a butterfly valve with integral tamper switches. I said, why not? So that's what we're gonna do. And it just so happens that we have here a butterfly valve with integral tamper switches that has been disassembled. So we can talk through the basic components of how this works. So this actually attaches to your pipe using your Vic couplings. We got a baffle inside the pipe. That's what actually shuts off the water flow whenever you close the valve. You got your hand wheel. And then here's the cool part. So I'm gonna set down my phone and we'll go through all these components. So these valves come with integral switches built into them here. These switches go off based on the position of your main gear, which controls the baffle on the inside of the pipe. So there's two switches. There's a switch in the back, that's your primary supervisory switch. And there's a switch in the front that's an auxiliary switch that can be used for other things. So we've got set screws on both sides that prevent the gear from turning too far. You can see them there, right? So those can be adjusted on the outside. And you can see that our gear sticks out a little bit right here. That's because it's compressing down the levers on those micro switches right now. So code requires, as you recall, that the micro switch, or that the tamper switch has to send a signal, supervisory signal, to the fire alarm panel within 2 full revolutions. So let's try it. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it. You hear that? So that was 1 full turn right there. So it did it in less than 2 turns. So, and what it does is it's relieving that pressure on this lever and releasing those micro switches right there, and that's what actually sends the signal. So a few other things to understand. Look, this is a UL listed assembly. So when somebody comes to you and says, hey, your butterfly valve isn't working, it's not sending a signal, some of these can be modified, right? I mean, it's clear that you can put in new micro switches. What you need to understand about that is that you lose your UL listing at that point, right? So even if you do a like for like exactly like it is, you've now field modified a UL listed component. Okay, so and clearly, is it going to cause issues? Highly likely not, right? I mean, it's a micro switch, so it's a very simple technology, but you have to understand the pros and cons and weigh the direction that you're going to go. You can buy this switch online. This one right here, I looked it up, it's $4, right? Well, so what's the benefit of replacing the switch? Well, you're not going to have the costs associated with shutting down your sprinkler system, disassembling your pipe, removing the valve, having your fire alarm contractor out there to rehook everything up. I mean, so there's a lot that goes into replacing the entire valve, right? Versus literally removing the cover, replacing the micro switch. But you got to understand that some manufacturers don't allow it. You also have to understand that you lose your UL listing. So I'm not saying one way or another what you need to do. I'm just telling you about the components associated with it and the common failures that happen. The micro switch is by far the most common failure on these valves. So just something to consider as you're moving forward with it. So that is right there a butterfly valve with an integral tamper switch. Hope you guys found it useful, and please reach out with any questions, and happy to take pictures or whatever you guys need to keep pushing you forward and learning about these different components. Happy learning.